Hey guys, welcome to another pick a card. My name is Johanna. Welcome to Tenacious Soul. We are going to see what the ancestors have for you message-wise. So today I actually have 4 piles. Normally I do 3, but I felt like doing 4. So yeah, timestamps will be down below. We're going to see, like I said, what the ancestors have for you, see what comes out. I've pre-pulled some oracles here, and then we're going to pull some tarot. So yeah, take your time to kind of intuitively choose which pile you feel drawn to. I'll show you the crystals here. We have pile number 1 with a tourmaline crystal. I'm not sure what some of these 2 in the middle are. I can't remember. Pile number 2, you have this fun looking one. Pile number 3, you have kind of more of a, it might look black to you, but it's kind of more of like a darker green. And then we have pile number 4 with this tiger's eye square crystal. All right, so take your time to intuitively choose which pile you feel the most drawn to. Timestamps will be down below, so you can check those out when you're ready, and I will see you all in your reading. Hi, pile number 1, welcome. If you chose this pile, you chose this tourmaline crystal. This is going to be your reading for the messages from the ancestors. So I've pulled 3 oracles here, so we're going to get into each of them. So let's see what's going on for you, pile 1. We have number 38, the Mystical Shaman. And this is actually the Mystical Shaman oracle that I'm using for this deck. So you got you got the main card. So this card talks about detaching from stories and expectations that we have either for situations or for our life, stories that we tell ourselves. And it's like when we can start to, detach from an outcome or an expectation, we truly do things because they are of a passion of us, right? Or we enjoy them. We're doing things because they fulfill us, and that's where you truly will manifest. I also am getting like there's a need to be open to where life is kind of taking you, and it's sometimes it's like we have this expectation of what we would desire or what we would like in our life, but sometimes it actually blocks us from what is like truly meant to come into our life. So I feel as though your ancestors are trying to indicate that it's like letting go of any sort of like strong emotions or attachments that you have to situations, any stories that you've previously told yourself about yourself or your situation that could be holding you back and not letting you fully step into where you're meant to be. The Mystical Shaman is like a storyteller, right? But in that, it's like you have to kind of allow the story to be created, right? It might not be, in our lives, it's like we create as we go along, right? Like there's not this set in stone, there are karmic things, but I think that we can kind of go on or off that path, obviously depending on what we choose of whether we continue to maintain alignment or not, right? So I feel like your ancestors are saying that like there is a big story that you're meant to kind of step into write. 38 breaks down to an 11, so it's like your ancestors are definitely with you, but they're asking you to detach from what you think something should look like, or what you think that you can or cannot do. It's saying, go after the things that bring you joy, go after the things that you want to step into. And in that, you'll then start to manifest your future. Okay, so it's almost like focusing on the small things at hand, again, the things that bring you a sense of joy and passion. And then it's like the big story, the long-term goal will start to manifest as it should, right? And not getting so fixated on the outcome of it all. So yeah, that's kind of what I got for that card. We also have the Broken Arrow. Embrace the energy of peace. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of going along with this, where it's saying like it almost feels like maybe you feel, especially with broken arrow, it makes me feel like your trajectory or where you've been going or your life path or where you feel like you should be headed, it's like disrupted, you know, it's broken. And I'm kind of getting the image of like a compass here. So it's like maybe some things have broken or things have not worked out because that wasn't truly where you were meant to move towards, right? Or there's a different path that's even better for you that you may not realize. And I feel like with this embrace the energy of peace, it's saying like, be okay with the fact that sometimes plans change, or sometimes, you know, the path that you're going down in life is changing, or it's like different than what you think it should be, right? It's like your ancestors are basically saying, we see something that maybe you don't, right? Being on the other side. And that's kind of like saying like, you know, like trust us, right? Trust in that we are guiding you in the right direction, and be at peace with, okay, if that thing ends, that's okay. I'm just going to find another way, or I'm going to do something a little bit differently. It doesn't mean you have to give up on the goal or the dream, but maybe the route that you take looks different, right? I think sometimes, especially as people, right, we think like, oh, you know, for example, like I want to be a doctor. So it's like, then it's like, well, I have to go this, and this. And it's like, well, maybe you got to go to a different school, or maybe you're going to experience this program before you experience that. Or maybe you are going to have, you know, this internship instead of the one that you thought you were going to have, right? So sometimes it's like you're still going to become a doctor, but it's like the way that you get there and the way that you navigate through things might be different, and your path is going to look different than everybody that you come in contact with, right? Like everyone's path is a little bit different. It's never the exact same for every single person, right? And then we have forgiveness here, number 23. So yeah, I feel like it's maybe, especially if things have yet to, or have not really worked out the way that you've wanted them to, it's like forgiving yourself for that. It doesn't mean you've done anything wrong, you know? It feels like with this 23 breaking down to a 5, it's like you've gone through some challenges, some struggles, you know, and I think some of you are kind of like, it's interesting that the sun is at the bottom here, and the moon is at the top. So what I'm getting off of that is you may be kind of like suppressing your light or not shining your light as much because you feel like maybe you've done the wrong thing, right? Taken the wrong path. And your ancestors are saying you haven't taken the wrong path. You're just meant to go in a different path, right? Or you're meant to get to the destination in a different way. It's like finding an alternative route. So I feel like forgiving yourself for the path that you've experienced up until this point, because it's not saying you've done anything wrong. Okay? And it's also, I'm getting like embracing the good and the bad, you know, embracing the shadow and the light aspects of your journey, and not thinking that it's supposed to be perfect. And again, that it's supposed to happen a very specific way. So yeah, your ancestors want you to let go of the burden that maybe you've been carrying about how your path and how your life has kind of like unfolded for you, because, and this may be in like a general sense of your life, but for some of you, it's like maybe something very specific that you've been aiming for. And your ancestors are saying like, let go of that burden. You know, it's not that you're not meant to experience this, but maybe your story looks different than what you initially thought it was supposed to look like. So let's get some tarot here for you. Group number 1. What does group number 1's ancestors want to say to them? Group number 1's ancestors. What do they want to say? We have the World. Yeah, I feel like it's a sense of like success that you're trying to achieve. Group 1 ancestors. I feel like they're also saying you have everything that you need. Oh, that's too many. I will take that Five of Wands though. Yeah, I feel like you have everything that you need. Five of Wands is indicating a bit of a struggle here. We have the Queen of Cups. Message from Group 1's ancestors, please. One more card. Thank you. And then we have the Four of Cups. Bottom of the deck, we have this Two of Wands. Yeah, it's about your trajectory, your path forward. I also feel as though Group 1 that this World card is indicating, like, it's interesting because she's facing the other way, like she's kind of facing the past, really. And I feel as though this is also your ancestors saying, you know, closing out those chapters and those stories from the past that you maybe once told yourself or that you've experienced. And it's like that, to close those doors, you know, you don't have to keep those doors open. Especially if they've caused you any form of struggle, okay? I do feel as well, Queen of Cups, it's like being more compassionate with yourself and your journey and your process, and also to like allowing yourself to connect to your ancestors intuitively, okay? Being open to the messages that they may have for you. Because I feel like there's a new opportunity, Four of Cups, that's trying to come in for you to help you move along your path, but it requires you to be open to that and close out these chapters or close these doors that, you know, maybe you've been keeping open in hopes that they'll one day work out. But I think they're causing a little bit more struggle and disruption than they are providing you peace, right? It's almost like it's having you pick up the broken pieces, right? Instead of just like putting the broken pieces in the garbage and moving on, you know? Like sometimes it's like we gotta revamp our path a little bit, right? And our path changes as we grow and we evolve. And I know for me, like in my profession, outside of tarot, it's like when I was, you know, 17, 18, looking to go into school, I mean, my path changed of which program I was going into and why, right? Because as I gained more information and more knowledge, it shifted, right? It shifted as to where I wanted to see myself, and it continues to shift, right? And I think that in some ways, like, that's the beauty of life, right? So I feel like your ancestors want you to have more compassion for yourself. You know, you don't have to sit in this place of struggle. And I think that they're saying, like, if you keep trying to, like, the doors in life that are meant for us will easily open. And again, sometimes it's not where you're trying to get to, but it could be the avenue or the path or the route that you're taking that's not for you. You know what I mean? So if you keep hitting like the struggle bus or you keep hitting a brick wall, reflect on like, well, why do I keep hitting this? Does this mean that like this path or this route that I'm taking to get to my goal is not for me? Like maybe I need to change something. Maybe something needs to shift, and listen to your intuition on that. Because I feel like with this Four of Cups, there's an opportunity that's around you, but you could also miss it with the Four of Cups or not see it because you're not maybe open, or you just can't intuitively, you cannot see what the universe is trying to provide you. It's like they're trying to show you a different door or a different avenue to get to where you're trying to go. And I feel like if you have to forgive yourself though in order and release these other experiences in order to fully step into the new and be able to be open even to the new thing, right? So there's something with regards to that, because I do see with this, Two of Wands and Three of Wands, you're manifesting, this path forward. I feel like as well, it's about manifesting and bringing opportunities towards you, like, right? Three of Wands is waiting for our ships to come in. And so I do feel like there's something with the Lovers here. We have the Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. You are going to be manifesting a sense of stability and foundation for yourself and something that's in alignment for you, but you have to find that thing that's in alignment. And sometimes that requires us to do something a little bit different or navigate our process a little bit different than we thought it should be or we think it should be, right? So it's being open to, kind of the changes along our path. And I don't feel like this is like a big change, like totally let go of what you're doing and shift into something new. I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's almost just how you're going about getting to where you're trying to go. And don't be so attached to the story that you once have told yourself of how you think it should be. So we're going to get a final message here from your ancestors for you, group 1. Final message for group 1 from their ancestors. 1 card, please. Okay, we got 2. Okay, so we have harmonic flight. So it says, this powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities, when we harmonize our energies with another, we can soar to the sky. We can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that is weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give the power to transmute fear. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. There may also be life-changing connection on the horizon. So for some of you, this could have to do with relationships. I do feel like that's what this world card is saying, a little bit of like letting go and clearing out, the past and letting go of the stories, right, that we've once told ourselves. Regardless, if it's not a person, it's just what you are meant to align yourself with. If you're not in that harmony, or if you're holding on to these stories and judgments and insecurities from the past, in the moment, it makes a resistance towards the new thing or the new person or the new situation, where it's like you're almost in a way pushing that opportunity away from you, even if it is something that you might want, right? And then we also have gracious receptivity. If there were a manual for optimal human experience, one of the most potent points would be gratitude. It is the backbone of all spiritual practice. When we shift our perspective from what we're lacking, needing, and desiring, we temporarily replace the survival factor with the resonance for thriving. Giving and receptivity is a two-way flow. Each allows space for the other. Gratitude, self-love, and self-worth are interwoven with the capacity to receive. Together they nourish your soul. Step into your heart space by listening all that you are grateful for, and notice how full you start to feel. From here, your gifting capacity can spiral upward. Yeah, I just feel like this is like, again, a little bit of that flow, but being open and receptive to the divine, right? This opportunity, this new path that they're opening up for you, forgiving yourself, right? That, loving yourself and self-worth and self-love and gratitude for the experiences and the lessons that you've learned up until this point is going to allow you to, again, close out those chapters and really harmonize your energy to continue moving on your path in a very productive way, or just a way with more flow. Like your journey will have more flow when you can just accept and take the path as it comes to you versus trying to control it by putting an attachment or a story onto it. Okay, so that is what I have for you, group number 1. Hopefully that resonates. Let me know down below. If not, you can check out any of your or any of the other piles. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hi, group number 2. Welcome. If you chose this pile, you chose this fun multicolored crystal here. This is going to be your reading for what your ancestors' message is for you. So we're going to go through the oracles. I have 3 of them here. So we're going to start with this one, which is number 3, the arrow. This is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. So this card talks about being in alignment with your heart and your soul and what it is that you want to move towards. And when you're in alignment, you're able to hit your mark. You're able to kind of, if you think of an arrow, when you pull it back and you're in alignment, you'll hit the bullseye, right? So there's 2 aspects to this, obviously the shadow and the light aspect of this card. So the first aspect talks about, if you're in alignment, hitting your mark, being on target, being on point. You can't really control where the arrow goes, right, of how it gets there, but just knowing that it'll get there and it'll hit the mark with your intention, right? It talks about a lot about intention and having a level of success, but also, letting go of any sort of like unnecessary ambition that is we can be ambitious just to have success, but is it really in alignment with your true calling? And so really, really being aware of your intention is going to be beneficial here for you. If you have been on a path and you're like, I don't really know if I'm in alignment anymore, it's kind of asking you to reevaluate. Your ancestors are asking you, if you don't feel like you're in alignment, where do you maybe need to question where you're putting your time and your energy, right? Are you doing more harm than good participating in the things that you're participating in? Have you been so attached to ambition that you've kind of like forgotten the true reason as to why you're doing something, right? So, for example, like, do you have a career or a business, or even something like volunteering your time, and it's like you're so focused on the outcome of it that you've forgotten like why you wanted to get into it in the first place, right? Maybe you wanted to help people, maybe you wanted to make the world a better place, or whatever, right? But are you so caught up in money or material gain, or something that's kind of taking your focus off of the wrong thing? And so again, it talks about intention and alignment, and when you're doing things from a space of alignment, you will hit your goal, you will hit your mark. Okay, it's interesting. Group 1 had arrows popping up, not actually in this deck, but in this one. So some of you might have also been drawn to Group 1 as well. We have the Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. And then we also have Joy, number 42. So this is really about doing what you enjoy to do, and listening to, again, like it's like listening to your gut, listening to your intuition. I also feel like there's a sense of you wanting to help or heal or bring some sense of healing to the world in some capacity. This could just be making people, happier. Maybe you're like a comedian or something, or maybe it's just your energy, but there's something about your ancestors wanting you to continue your intention, or make sure your intention continues to align with why you started what you started. And it should be joyful. It should be something that you enjoy to do. It feels like there should be not so much as, maybe a bit of a sense of play, but also a sense of like just enjoying the process, right? And I'm noticing these are flowers, but they kind of look like, there's butterflies or whatever these are here, these bugs here on the side. Not truly a butterfly, I guess, but it's making me feel like there's kind of this, I don't want to say freedom aspect, but it's almost like this sense of like seeing where life is going to take you in a way, because you're in alignment. As long as you're in alignment with your intention, it almost like it doesn't matter what opportunities come your way, because as long as you're choosing from a place of alignment and you're choosing from a place of intention, you should be enjoying the process, right? The second we are not having joy, or we're not experiencing joy, it might be telling you you're off your mark, you're out of alignment, right? So paying attention to how you feel, especially with this Medicine Mother, it's reminding me of the Queen of Cups. Paying attention to how you feel is going to show you whether you're in alignment or not, or like having joy. There's a strong Sagittarian energy here is also what I'm getting, as well as like kind of this Cancerian energy. So what else do your ancestors want to say? I also feel too that there's like, with this Medicine Mother, I'm getting that there's, your ancestors are saying that there's you're meant to level up in some way. There's a sense of you having joy, having creativity, having fun. This can also, the arrow can also indicate creativity, letting your creativity shine or fly, okay? Opening up your creativity. But there's also a seriousness here, like what you're meant to do or where you're meant to go. It's like there's an intention and a purpose that is important. And it feels like it's almost like taking it seriously, taking your intention seriously, or taking your the path that you're meant to go down, like taking that seriously, because it's almost like if you're not taking it seriously, you're not being true to yourself. Okay. So yes, enjoying the process, but also knowing how important it is to stay in alignment or stay on track with this path and not getting too swayed off of course or out of alignment, because it's going to affect your trajectory. The Queen of Cups is giving me this like vibe, or this medicine mother is reminding me of the Queen of Cups, which is also giving me this like doing things from your heart space rather than from like a material sense. I'm getting like a strong material sense. Like, you know, if you do a job just to get paid, it's like, where's the joy? Where's the healing? Where's the purpose? Where's the intention behind what you're doing? Are you just doing it to do it? Or are you doing it because you truly enjoy it, or it's really helping people, you know? Whatever it is that you're, this could even just be like how you're living your life. Are you just doing things to do them because you feel you should, or are you doing things in your life with a sense of purpose and intention? You know, this could even be the people that you hang around. Are you just hanging out with people to socialize, or are you hanging out with people who truly have your back and who are really in alignment with your morals and your values? So it's all about intention for this group. We have the 9 of Pentacles coming out here. Messages from Group 2's ancestors, please. Messages from Group 2's ancestors. What do they want to say to Group 2? We have the 10 of Wands. Yeah, some of you may have things that you're carrying too many things that are maybe taking you off course. Message for Group 2's or from Group 2's ancestors. We have the Ace of Cups. And then we have the Lovers. We have the Wheel of Fortune here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's a more Sagittarian energy. We also have Gemini, which are opposite energies. There's a destined place, like there's a place you're meant to go with this arrow. It's like, it's pointing up, right? It's like there's a place you're meant to go. There's a place you're meant to experience. There's a thing you're meant to experience. But it feels like some of you, your ancestors are saying like you're kind of weighed down. 9 of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, you're kind of weighed down by certain responsibilities, or just carrying too many things, right? This could be expectations of other people, or yeah, it's like, this is about getting back into alignment, I feel, for a lot of you, because and it could just be one thing that's coming on your back here with this 10 of Wands, that it's just like too much to carry, and it's preventing you from really experiencing joy. Ace of Cups, right? You're meant to experience joy. You're meant to enjoy what you're doing, and it feels like what you've been doing, or the way that maybe you're living your life right now, it's like it's a burden more than it is like fulfilling, right? There's something about your intention and it being fulfilling, and it being, you know, a destined path here with the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like there's something with this Ace of Cups and the Lovers here you're meant to come into alignment with. Lovers is a choice. It's also a union, but that union doesn't necessarily have to be a person. This could be you and your higher self. This could be you aligning with, you know, a job or a career path or whatever, right? It's like, this is about aligning with something that brings you joy, something that makes you feel good, something that adds to your life in a positive way. So there's something that you are, and I feel like maybe with the Lovers here too, it's like you have to choose this path. You can't just be like, oh, well, it's destined for me, so like it's just going to work out. It's like, no, you still have to put in the work, or you still have to, you know, kind of like, again, put the intention out there. If you're just kind of like doing things to do things with this 10 of Wands and just kind of taking on too many things, it's clogging up your energy. It's kind of like, it's not really resistance, but it's like, it's fogging you up a little bit. It's making, and maybe that's with this path, right? It's like it's not clearing the path, right? for you. There's a sense of your path not being clear, or you not being clear on the path. Okay, if you're unclear on your path and your intention, it's like taking a step back is probably needed. And I think that with this Nine of Pentacles and this Medicine Mother, it's like going within yourself and figuring out what you want. What is it that you want to align yourself with, and trust your intuition, trust that inner knowing. I feel like the universe wants you to move, and your ancestors want you to move in a certain direction here, but they're saying you may have to let go of the work. And by that I mean like the hard labor, or the doing things because you feel you have to do them, the goals or the things that you've been working on that have just become like ambition, but they're not actually driven by a sense of purpose. Those things, you know, they gotta go, right? It's like lightening the load a little bit, because if there's too much weight on this arrow, it's not going to hit its mark either. It's going to fall before it hits its mark. So it's like a burnout, right? It burns out before it hits where it's trying to go. And I feel some of you, it's like your ancestors saying you're not enjoying the process. Like there needs to be joy brought back into what you're wanting to experience, or what you are experiencing. Like there needs to be more joy brought into your life here. And so making sure that you're aligning yourselves to the right things and paying attention to your intuition of like, is that really the direction that I want to move in? Is that really the direction I'm supposed to move in? Right? Making sure that you're hitting that mark. And you do that by making sure that you're in alignment. So I feel like, definitely I feel like if you are feeling out of alignment, this is asking you, what do you need to let go of to get yourself back into alignment? If you feel like you're on the right path, I feel like the universe is saying, just make sure that you're, trusting that. This 10 of Wands makes me feel like, again, it's like, just don't take on, make sure that you maintain that sense of alignment and you don't get into that 10 of Wands situation, right? Because I feel like there's a sense of joy that should be coming into your life, or that should be in your life. If you are in alignment, like you should feel like you're on the right path, you're going in the right direction. Okay. I also feel like your creativity is going to improve, or just like increase. Like you might feel like you've got a lot of creativity, especially with the Ace of Cups, and then this arrow, which was reminding me kind of the Ace of Wands, right? I feel like you're gonna have a lot of creativity. And I feel like this 10 of Wands is kind of like, you need to have the space to be creative, right? And so if there's too much going on around you, there's too much weight that you're carrying, it's going to suppress the ability to create the way that you want to create, or the way that you or even just feeling creative, right? So let's get a final message here for you, group 2, from your ancestors. Final message. We have the Violet Flame, which this is the back of it. So it says, as we deepen our spiritual practice, step out of our illusionary constructs, and become empowered beings, life presents more opportunities to grow than before. Your sensitivity will heighten, so it may be harder to spend time in places with certain energies. That's that 10 at once. Do you have a range of accessible go-to practices for recentering, cleansing your aura, and protecting your energy field? A routine for psychic fitness will keep your aura strong and resilient, your energy sovereign, and your vibration high, and help you to see through illusions that block or disorient. Bring the violet flame into your meditation and self-care practices for graceful rebalance. So this is like helping you, or this is basically saying like maintaining, finding a spiritual practice, or finding things that you can go to, even that's just like taking deep breaths for like a minute, something to keep you in alignment. Because it feels like there could be things that are pulling you out of alignment, or that have pulled you out of alignment, okay? And your ancestors are really wanting you to maintain that sense of alignment, okay? Maintain that sense of direction, intention. And the more you kind of get caught up in the doing with the 10 of Wands, the less time you're able to really just be in alignment, be in flow, be in creativity, right? So what can you do to recenter and cleanse your energy so that you can maintain that alignment, like on your path, okay? So that is what I have for you, group number 2. Hopefully that resonates. Let me know down below. If not, you can check out any of the other piles. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hi, group number 3. Welcome. If you chose this pile, you chose this kind of really dark, maybe green crystal here. It's going to be a reading for what your ancestors would like to say to you, the message they have for you. So we're going to start with the oracles here. I have 3. So let's get into it. Take what resonates, obviously, leave the rest. We have number 16 with the eagle. This is the mystical shaman oracle, by the way. So this card is about gaining a bigger perspective. The eagle always sees like an opportunity. They always see opportunities, right? So if you're in this space of not sure what to do next or where to go next, it's asking you to kind of like take a step back and gain a bigger, broader perspective, view something from a higher perspective, or just like a bigger lens, right? Seeing the bigger picture, the full picture, to gain that clarity as to where to go. The eagle is very intentional, right? And all of the obstacles or challenges that maybe you've been going through, it's like seeing the opportunity in those challenges, right? I feel like there's also this sense of like freedom with this card, like wanting freedom, needing to break out of the mundane, and be kind of bigger or expanding a little bit more on just maybe where you are or what you want to achieve. I feel like for some of you, this is more about breaking free than it is, some of you maybe know what you want, but it's like you have yet to get there. And so it's this like expansion. So this card can talk about like getting caught up in the mundane or the little things and needing to kind of like view things from a bigger perspective, and, you know, kind of gain that clarity and be able to see where to go next. When you can take a step back out of the detail, you can then start to see the bigger picture and see what's the next path to go. Where's the next thing that you need to explore or that you need to target? We have protection, guardian, drop your shields. Interesting. Yeah, I'm noticing like the wings here. So it's almost like letting yourself soar, letting yourself fly. And in order to fly, you kind of have, in a way, you have to kind of like let go, right? You have to allow, you know, obviously like the wings are moving, but it's like the air that's kind of taking you, right? You're moving through the air. And so there's kind of this flow, but also this sense of like releasing control. Okay, so some of you may be trying to, or you could just be very caught up in the mundane, the day-to-day tasks, right? That could be kind of keeping you in this controlled state because it's not allowing for freedom. It's not allowing for flow. And so your ancestors are wanting you to kind of like, it almost feels like it's like, okay, let's recalibrate. Let's reconnect here, recharge, like let's kind of reevaluate where we're at. And in order to do that and see our life from a certain perspective or where you're at now, you almost have to like take it from a bird's eye view. And we have reunion of souls, number 7. So interesting, both number 7s, with 16 obviously, and then 7 here. Birds again. So birds could be significant for you. You may see birds, or birds may be some form of a communication for you with regards to spirit and ancestors and that sort of thing, maybe loved ones that have passed on, okay? That may be for some of you. But I do feel for you, group 3, like your ancestors are saying it's time for you to reunite with them, but also yourself. It's almost like maybe you've put yourself in a bit of a box, and they want you to reconnect with, you know, kind of your soul and where your soul wants to go and what your soul feels like it's meant to do here. Now this could also as well, if there is a person you're meant to be connecting with that reunion of souls, it's almost also saying like dropping your shields, or allowing this to come in. This doesn't have to be a person you know. This could just be someone you're meant to connect with in this life, but there's like a shield or a protective shield that you have up that is holding you back or preventing this person from coming into your life or preventing you from meeting this person. So that also could be something your ancestors are trying to communicate to you here. So let's see what group threes, what does your ancestors want to say? We'll pull some tarot here. Group threes, ancestors. We have the Page of Pentacles. Group threes, ancestors. What do they want to say? We have the Four of Swords. Group threes, ancestors. Temperance. Yeah, there's definitely kind of this like reconnection to self, reconnection to spirit, reconnection to your ancestors. Then we have the World. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. So I feel like there's definitely something or someone or yourself that you're meant to connect back to. Okay, so if you feel like maybe you've lost yourself a little bit, that could be a little bit of this, like the ego energy too, like being caught up in, again, like the mundane, the day-to-day, just doing things to do them. It's almost like Spirit's asking you to reconnect with you and yourself, maybe doing some form of healing here with this Four of Swords, Temperance. Because I feel like it's asking you, like, what do you want to achieve with the world? Like, what is it that you're looking for? What is it that you're wanting to have in this life? And if it's like, are you moving in that direction, or do we need to reevaluate? Do we need to recalibrate? Right? I sometimes feel like the Temperance with the Alchemy and like going back and forth between the two cups, it's almost like recalibrating our energy, right? Reharmonizing things. Some of you may need to take a bit of a break or go on a holiday or something like that in order to recharge, or just like even be on your own a little bit here with this Four of Swords. I think there's a sense of you learning things. I think you're learning maybe about what it is that you want and what you're wanting to create in this life. The Page of Pentacles is kind of giving me, though, that energy of like, you know, it's earth energy, right? So it's like doing tasks, doing things every day. It's interesting. There's a little owl on this card as well. So I feel like there's your guides and your ancestors are definitely trying to speak to you and like nudge you in a certain direction. There might be something new that they're trying to nudge you towards, something, or it could be a person, but it also could be just a direction in life, something maybe you're meant to learn. And I feel like this is maybe what you're resisting. Like there's a sense of like you resisting this or not seeing this. And the shield could just be the fact that you're maybe not paying attention, or you're not tuning into the divine and tuning into listening to your ancestors. Your ancestors want to communicate with you. They're trying to nudge you in a certain direction to join forces, reunion of souls, right? With the Lovers here. So there's a sense of you connecting with something, someone, yourself, reuniting with your own soul to get to a certain location or to have a level of success. The world can talk about success. So yeah, I just feel like this is about your guides really saying like, it's time to get back to you. It's time to get back to you, what you want. Maybe there's been other people that have been kind of, you know, demanding of you, whether that's a workplace, a relationship, your family, children, whatever, right? But it's like more, this is about figuring out what you're looking for, or getting back and doing something that you enjoy. It could be something small to start, right? Getting back into something that you want to do, you enjoy, something that brings you a sense of peace. But it's also about opening up to opportunities, because I feel like you've kind of closed yourself off from things, or maybe you've been feeling like things haven't been coming in for you. You haven't been receiving anything. And I think it's because you've maybe been a little bit closed off, or you've been not even intentionally. It feels like maybe you've been doing like again, you've just been going through the day, like whether that's, going to work, coming home, cooking dinner, like just kind of the basic things. And it's like you've lost the perspective, or you've lost the bigger picture of where you want your life to go. It's so easy to kind of get caught up in things. And then it's like all of a sudden 5 years have gone by and you're like, wow, I said I was going to stay at this job for 1 year and it's been 5, right? It's kind of like that. And so it's like taking a step back and reevaluating, because I feel like it's like getting a little bit back on track, getting a little bit back on course. And it could be something small to start, Page of Pentacles, like something small that you maybe start doing. This could be like a craft, or like gardening, or, learning something, reading a book that kind of gets you back on track to your bigger picture, the bigger goal that you had for your life. And I feel like there's a sense of like recalibrating on your own, but then also being out in the world. So I feel like it's like once you can harmonize the energies within, then it's like the energies without will start to kind of fall into place, right? Because our outside world is a reflection of our inside world, right? So I think things will start kind of like just happening in your world outside of you once you've harmonized inside, started doing things for you. And yeah, I feel like for some of you, this is really about like getting back on track within yourself. And it's the same thing too, if you're looking for like a partnership or a relationship, it's like getting back on track and finding peace within yourself. And then it's like the universe can bring in this person, or you'll actually be able to see this person. You know what I mean? Like your ancestors are really wanting you to heal something within yourself, I feel, in order to then guide you into that next phase, looking at something from a bigger perspective. And again, it's also like your guides are saying right now, it's like if your life externally is not what you envisioned for yourself, or not what you wanted, or not what you want, it's not fully completed, you haven't fully hit the level of success that you're looking for, what you've been looking for in a relationship or whatever, your guides are saying go within, because there's something within you that needs to be looked at as to why is this reflecting on the outside. So paying attention to, what am I doing, or what's going on internally within me, and how is that contributing to the life that I'm currently living, So interesting message here for you, group 3. I'm gonna pull a final message for you from your ancestors. Final message from group 3's ancestors. Final message from group 3's ancestors. So we have our ancient future, which this is the back of it. So it says, an ancient remembering is emerging. Seed crystals and the knowledge they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming. Their hearts and minds are hearkening to the core of the earth-based traditions to bring through knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. So yeah, definitely trusting your ancestors and your intuition. I do feel like there is something that's either trying to come in or that will be coming in that's going to help change and transition you. Your guides and your ancestors might also just like give you a bit of a nudge in a certain direction, which helps kind of bring you back on track, bring you back into balance, because I feel like there's something in your life that's out of balance, and they're highlighting that, and they're saying take a step back, look at the bigger picture. What is going on that maybe needs to change in order for you to get back on track with where you're trying to go? Okay, so it's like looking at your life from a bigger perspective, which is going to help shift your direction here, because you're going to see what's not working and then make the changes, and see what is working and then continue with that as well, right? Like you can see both sides of it. but you are about to, I feel like, go through a bit of a transformation, a bit of a shift. Some of you are going to be ending some form of a cycle here with this World card, and stepping into newer energy, new alignment, with either, again, yourself, another person, or another situation like a career, a home, or something like that. Okay, so that is what I have for you, group 3. Hopefully that resonates. Let me know down below. If not, you can check out any of the other piles, but I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. Welcome. If you chose this pile, you chose this tiger's eye crystal. It's going to be your reading from your ancestors. So we're going to start with the oracle cards here. I have 3. So we're going to see what message they have for you. So take what resonates, obviously, leave the rest. So we have number 25. We have the Holy Mountain. So this card talks about overcoming obstacles. So I feel for some of you, your ancestors are bringing up a topic that has maybe been a bit challenging for you, or you're struggling to kind of maybe make your way through a situation. The mountain also talks about like you have all the tools that you need, or you have everything you need to overcome this obstacle or overcome this mountain. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's like a little tiny person sitting at the top of the mountain there, which is you. You're meant to kind of see things from a higher perspective, gain a higher wisdom, a higher knowledge out of this situation. So taking this obstacle or this challenge that you're going through, the situation that you're going through, and seeing it from a different lens. And I almost feel like for some of you, it's like taking, because it's like the answers that you need, or you have the wisdom and the knowledge within you. And I feel like it's asking you to kind of like sit with that, sit with yourself, see what you're being called to either learn from this situation or how to overcome this obstacle, but seeing it as a learning opportunity. So your ancestors are wanting you to look at something from all angles, but also realize that like you can get through this. This isn't anything that you can't work through. We have Druid, hold the space. Yeah. It's like you're very wise is what I'm getting off of this. But again, you have to hold the space for yourself to be able to tap into the wisdom, right? Some of you need maybe time alone or time out in nature with both of these cards. So whether that is in a dry space or, you know, in the forest or something, it's like whatever your scenery is or wherever you are in the world, it's like taking time and space for yourself. It could even be in your home, but I mean, obviously the more connected we are with Earth, the more connected we are with ourselves, and kind of vice versa. So I feel like you have the wisdom. I want to say too, some of you have been through this situation before, or you've been through a situation like this before that you have found a solution to, or you, even if you didn't find a solution in the past, you saw what worked and didn't work, and you can kind of use the knowledge that you've gained through your life up until this point, the challenges that you've gone through up until this point, to help you get through this situation that you're in as well. Yeah, and then we have number 20, healing energy. So I feel like you're healing from something, you're overcoming something is what it feels like. And I feel like your ancestors are basically just saying like, you got this. You know, you don't, not that like they're there with you, but like they're like, you don't really need us. This is something that you have the wisdom and the knowledge to get through on your own. Some of you have been through some of these challenges like in a past life, which is, you know, it's like you have this wisdom within you that you don't even know how to get out of a situation. It doesn't feel like this is something that you're going to be stuck on. It's like something that's you're going to rise above. And I feel like there's brighter days. The sun is like huge, right? I don't even know if it's the sun or the moon, but it's huge, right? And it's bright. This card's very bright. So I feel like you're going to be coming out of this darker space, and you're going to be able to rise above and see the situation for what it is, and see the bigger perspective and gain the wisdom or the knowledge that you need to work through this situation as well. So let's see what your ancestors want to say with the tarot. What does group 4's ancestors want to say to them? What's the message? 7 of Swords, interesting. We have the 10 of Cups. King of Cups. And then we have the 2 of Wands. Yeah, it's like, what's holding you back? What's holding you back? Bottom of the deck, we have Death card. So you're definitely going through a transformation, but also like, again, there's this bright energy. It's like you're the phoenix rising. You're rising above, or you will be rising above, going through a rebirth. This healing energy always gives me this feeling of like being in a cocoon, or being in like, in the egg, right? And you have yet to kind of like break out of the egg. So you could be kind of in this, space where you're kind of maybe a little bit like isolated, or you're going through the transformation and you're about to be rebirthed here. And this 7 of Swords is like strategy. Okay, 7 of Swords can be like lying, cheating, stealing, deception, but it also can be strategy, like how to get what you want out of a situation, right? But it's also a card of like doing it alone, like being kind of sneaky, because you maybe don't have as much, or you don't feel like you have as much like supporting you. So normally like the guy is in a traditional tarot, he's like stealing swords, right? He's stealing the opponent's weapons so that he's in a more favorable position, right? So it feels like there's a sense of you trying to get ahead, or you're trying to, and it's not in a bad way. I don't actually feel like this 7 of Swords is like a bad thing. This is like you strategizing, like up on the mountain, like how am I going to work through this situation? Some of you are maybe feeling like you have to do it all alone. You may have supportive people with this 10 of Cups around you, family members, people around you that are supporting you or have your back. Like they even if they're not helping you gain the answer, there's supportive people that you have that are cheering you on. And I think that it's like you're trying to figure out how do I move forward and find my happiness and get to this like positive space with this 10 of Cups, King of Cups. It's like, how do I gain control of my emotional world so that I can have all the fulfillment that I desire and that I want, all my goals and my dreams in my life going forward. I feels like this is like you don't have this yet, or you don't feel like you have this yet, this 10 of Cups. But I think it's because you're going through this transition. And then with the Death card behind that, we have the Ace of Cups. So again, like starting this journey, rebirthing. Literally the cups can talk about, like the Ace of Cups can talk about birth. It can be like the birth of a baby or the birth of an idea, right? So I feel like there's like, you're about to be kind of like reborn or transitioned into this new space. And it's more about like I think you're trying to figure out how, right? The 9 of Wands here is telling me you're almost there. We do have the 9 of Swords. So you're kind of like, this is something that it's definitely on your mind, especially with 7 of Swords coming up. This is something you're probably thinking a lot about. You may have to spend some time being in the thinking realm. However, I would say that your wisdom is not so much coming from logic as much as it is this like internal guidance, this internal knowing, your emotional space, to kind of like push you in a new direction. I feel like this egg it's like, I'm picturing this as an egg. It's like this egg is about to crack, and you're about to kind of like come out of this situation in a positive way. I do want to get one for the 7 of Swords. I didn't clarify anything for the other piles, but don't tell them. Why is the 7 of Swords here for group 4? From their ancestors. What is this about? King of Swords. Yeah, it's like you're trying to make sense of it all. 6 of Cups. I feel like you're not trying to go back to the past. You're trying to, again, it's like you're trying to overcome the situation. And it could be a little bit uncomfortable for some of you. Like this might be very challenging for you. Like you might feel like you're doing something not good or something like that, because it's like it's not the way you would normally handle a situation, but you're being called to do something differently. This King of Swords has the owl, which talks about wisdom. And again, I was picking that up, like you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge, you're very wise. You're intellectually, that's not the problem here, right? But I feel like with these two kings, the King of Swords and the King of Cups, it's almost saying like you also have to open up your emotional space. So there's like a healing of the heart that is also happening here to prepare you for what's on the other side. It's like balancing out the mind and the heart and knowing when to use which skill, right? Because there's a time for logic and there's a time for our intuition and our emotion. And it's knowing when and how to use those energies in our life, right? There's a time for one versus the other. It's interesting too, 25 breaks down to a 7. We also had 7 as the first card that came out. So I feel like as much as your ancestors are saying like, you've got this, you can do it on your own, they are still guiding you, they are still with you, they have not just like abandoned you, but they know that you've got this wisdom, you have this knowledge within yourself to get through this situation, and that as much as, and again, you have people supporting you, whether that's your ancestors, your family, like whatever, there's people supporting you, but you don't need their advice, is what this feels like. You have the knowledge within yourself. You can do this on your own. And maybe that's different for you. Maybe you've always been a person in the past that, you know, has sought out answers through other people or through, you know, tarot readings or, you know, advice from others, or what should I do in this situation, right? And I feel like this time around, you're actually going within, which might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I feel like you're going to find the answers that it is that you're searching for. And I do think you're going to be able to move forward here with this Two of Wands. There's this lion here on this Two of Wands, so it's about being brave and being bold, kind of, in a way where it's like you're watching and you're waiting, but you're also in this space of you know, ready to pounce when the time is right. It's like you're going to be coming off of the mountain when you can see something clearly. You're gaining a sense of perspective on a situation, which is going to help you move forward. And Two of Wands is a card of like, okay, well, where to next? Usually they have the world in their hands, right? And it's like, where do you want to go in the world? What's the next goal? What's the next thing? And I feel like when we had that Ace of Cups, and then even this like this healing energy, it's like, where's to next? It's like you're starting fresh in a way. So I feel like your ancestors' biggest message here is like, you're going to make it through this situation. You have the knowledge that you need within yourself. You have the wisdom within yourself to work through this. You do have to tap into that. And I think once you realize that, you're going to come out the other side a different person. You're going to come out the other side, and to be ready to step into something new and gain this higher perspective and this bigger perspective on your life and this situation, which is really going to allow you to grow. So let's get a final message here for you, group number 4. Final message from group 4's ancestors. Final message from group 4's ancestors. Final message, please. We have home. So this is the back of the card. Look at that heart, little heart space, opening up your heart space. So on our way home to oneness and the truest part of our infinite selves is to know ourselves beyond the socialized matrix of mind-constructed reality. When all sense of flighty survival drops away, a deep sigh radiates from the safe space within, where you can ground dreams into realities. Deep heart-based presence is a direct portal home. Align with your temple space. You have dreams, visions, and may yearn for etheric realms, but it is when we are fully present in our bodies we can actualize ideas and make a difference. Be grounded, find your home. The deeper our roots, the higher we can reach into the heavens. So yeah, this is really powerful about reconnecting to yourself. For some of you, getting out of nature and like literally sitting on the earth is going to help you ground yourself. It's going to help kind of like calm you. But this is really about going within and going deeper into yourself, and realizing that when you can connect back into yourself, you'll find the answers you need. You'll feel more calm, you'll feel more at peace, and you'll be able to, actually connect more to source and more easily. Like you'll be able to access that wisdom and that knowledge quicker and quicker each time. It'll just be more natural and intuitive, the way that you kind of move through your kind of like reality. So yeah, it's about aligning with your heart space and opening up your heart and connecting more to you and yourself. So, I mean, based on the cards, I'm getting a lot of earth energy. So like connecting to the earth, but however you want to do that, you can do it multiple ways, right? And I feel like you're connecting to your spiritual self even just like that much more. It's almost like there's a level of like ascension or awakening here that's happening. You're going through that transformation process, and you're going to come out the other side more connected to spirit, more connected to yourself, and also feeling kind of transformed or renewed in a positive way, where you're going to start to shift your perspective on things and be able to work through this challenging situation. So that is what I have for you, group number 4 for Message from Your Ancestors. Hopefully that resonates. Let me know down below. If not, you can check out any of any of the other piles. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, liking, subscribing, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.